So Neowiz has just announced the November update, and I'll be taking you through the patch notes that were shared this morning, and also share my opinions about them to kind of give you an idea of what all has been chosen and why so on. So as you can see on the screen, the November update, I'll first read over it with you guys, but since everything is already categorized, I'll just give some feedback and reasoning as to why as we go along. To start off, so November update, new mode, new maps, new items, new rewards, and bug fixes. So Mercenaries in this update will bring you community-centered bug fixes, an exciting new game mode, fun new maps, interesting new items, and attractive new rewards. The new mode is AVA Sports Mode to celebrate the 2022 Qatar World Cup event. So I sort of get that. It's a pretty cool idea, but my personal opinion, I would not have picked this mode. It's a fun mode to play. I think a lot of people will like to play it, but I think it's one of those modes that will not be played for a very long time. So I wonder how long it's going to be in the game for. Yeah. I don't think there's too much hype about it. I mean, back in the past as well, you had the capsules with the coins, the sports coins you'd get based on your placement. I know that's not going to be in there. There's not going to be sports capsules or anything. They'll just be regular Euro capsules and so on. So yeah, I'm not even sure if there are any rewards for playing the mode, and that was kind of the reason why I was also a bit hyped. So yeah, I'm not super hyped about it, but for the people that want to know about it, round 1 is a super jump. Then you have skipping, shooting, the rush, and the AVA triathlon. There will be a video on the Neowiz page as well to show you how the sports mode works for people that haven't seen it before. But I think in general, it's a pretty cool mode. I think it's well designed. But yeah, I would have rather seen another game mode in that sense. Stuff like co-op and custom rooms, of course, as well. Then for the map rotation, a few maps were removed, a few maps were added. Now they've added 3 maps. They've added Desert Storm, E-Space, and Castle Rock. Now, Castle Rock, I think, is a very good addition. A lot of people asked about this map as well for Annihilation, so I think this is one of the best Annihilation maps that they could pick, so well done. Maybe aside from Township, but this is a very good pick. E-Space then, yeah, out of the remaining escape maps, you also still have E-Fly, but I think E-Space is a very good addition as well, so that's not an issue. But then we have Desert Storm. Now, when I heard about this last week, my first question was why. I'm not sure if people know what the Desert Storm map is, but Desert Storm is basically a one-on-one copy of Dust 2 in CSGO. It literally looks exactly the same, but it's worse in layout. Like in mids, in CSGO, you can jump on the box and you can jump to short. You can't do that here. The box is there, but you can't get on the box. And even if you were to get on the box, then you can't jump back on to short, so... Also, the box setup in 2 sides is very weird. You can actually plant on top of the boxes, for which you need to go to the left angle to even get there. So to even get to the bomb, you almost need like 10 seconds because the map is always so big. Not good. And on 1 as well to try and get... The map is just way too big for AVA standards, even though you can run. I think out of the Demolition maps, it's probably the worst map in the game. Not to mention that you're releasing a map that was made by Valve, who owns Steam, and you have your game released on Steam. So I see this as a major hazard as well. I've also addressed my concerns about it. The devs don't think it's going to be an issue, but I think this is a very bad decision, and probably the worst Demolition map they could have picked. It would have been far better off adding a map like Supply, maybe even Hellhound, or any of the newer Demolition maps, such as Silo, or Balcony, or even Ruin. But yeah, Desert Storm, I think, is a very bad decision. Even though I remember in the Russian version, I've played this in the Russian version and the Taiwanese version, so that's why I can give a bit of an opinion on that. I know it was quite popular in the Russian version, but I know when I was playing Tava, at least with the people from the West I was playing it with, nobody liked this map. Everyone had this disabled. People would even leave if they'd get this map. So, yeah, I don't think this is a very good idea, and I'd be very curious what Valve has to say about it, if anything. Then some maps were removed, so E-Boat Night, yeah, the day version still exists, the night version, the Halloween version is removed. This was to be expected. They also removed Chromite. Now, what I understand is they removed chromite due to balancing issues, because it was favored more towards one side instead of the other. So I can understand that, but there's also not that many annihilation maps, so I would have personally lowered the percentage on this case, but I do understand why the maps were removed. And in general, the problem that you have with breach is there's more escort maps, but they haven't been breach adjusted yet. So there's like three or four more escort maps, I think, that haven't been breach adjusted yet, which the devs need to do if they want to release more maps. And I think for breach they should, so that is something that they should also put a focus on. Then we have the new items. Now, this is something that I am excited about. I think, personally, this is the best thing about the update. We get the DT42, which of course is the FG42. We get the V Nagant, which of course is the Molzen Nagant. We also get the Wukong stick, and then a new character, Marek Cyborg, which is obviously going to be a capsule. But yeah, these three primary items will be in the shop, all good to use. The FG, I think, could really be a game changer in the rifleman class. I haven't seen the stats of it yet, but if it has 20 bullets like it used to before, I wouldn't be surprised if it deals more damage on range in comparison to the para. And then this could be one of the go-to skill one-tap weapons in the game. So I'm very, very excited about that. The Mosin, a little bit less excited about, but that's because we have the M19 in the game, and the guns are pretty much 95% identical. They look the same, they almost look the same, behave pretty similar, although the M19 has better jump shot. So I'm really sure how the Mosin is going to behave, because if it one-shots consistently, it might be too overpowered, but if it doesn't one-shot consistently, then it falls in the category of the M24, the SV98, and the 24, and that means it's useless. So I can see why. I mean, it has a lot of skins. A lot of people did ask for the Molzen, but yeah, together with the M19, I would have personally just released the skins for the M19. And then the Wukong stick, yeah, it's just a cool knife in general, so that's alright. Then the in-store skin updates, so you can get some skins. Because it says in-store skins, they are either going to be in packages or they're going to be for titanium. I'm not sure. I did not ask about this, so I'm a bit curious as to how they're going to address this. But because they talk about just skins, and this doesn't really look like a... Well, it could be a package, actually, so likely it is a package. I think if I have to guess, it's probably going to be a package. Then the box update. I think this is also a very good move. So Premium Box and the AVA Box is going to get new items added to it. Going to see the return of the Nova Priam and the Z5 Sonic, and we'll see the Griffer and the Safety First for the FG and for the Molzen, also the Safety First and the Engrave. The Engrave being a very, very good skin. So some people might have noticed yesterday in my stream I was saving up Premium Boxes. This was why I knew the Premium Box and AV Box were getting updated. And I think for a lot of people watching this video today and tomorrow, save up your boxes until the update is out, and then open them, because the new skins will also be in there. They'll just update the boxes. It won't affect like the items you get out of it now, so save up your boxes. And the item procurement upgrades, I think this is also very good. Up until now you could only buy items until 7 days. Now you can also do it for 30 days. This makes it a lot more useful. This price is very, very expensive though. It's almost double than what you pay in Tava. I think you pay close to 6k, like 5.8k for 30 days. And nades for 10.5k for a month. That is very, very expensive, but yeah, of course, still quite a lot cheaper compared to the 7 days. The capsule indication, yeah, different colors helps with visibility, so that's all right. And then quality of life improvement, so you know the way that stuff pops up, not really important. The spawn shield, another second, okay, cool. And then fix some bugs, and yeah. Most of this stuff is not interesting. Skin windows close up standing out. Yeah, sure. Fixed English UI message output case sensitivity conditions. Not really sure what this means, but if it has to do with spelling mistakes, then it's not really a lot. And yeah, this is pretty much it. There were some other things in the works which I don't think are going to be added, seeing these patch notes. But what I'm a bit surprised about here is that they talk about, what was it? Community standard bug fixes. Well, yeah, what is community centered about this? I think in general the update is a bit disappointing. I think the guns are good. The mode is like somewhat okay, but let's be real. We're all asking for PV. We're asking for custom rooms. We're asking for the goddamn MP7 to be finally nerfed. That thing has been ruining the game for the last 3 months, and it still hasn't been addressed, which to me is just mind-blowing. It's unbelievable that that thing hasn't been nerfed yet. And I already got angry about this last month, and yeah, it's just crazy. It has. I just don't understand why it hasn't been fixed yet. I really don't. I really don't. And yeah, for the other modes, I think the devs really need to start shifting their focus. AVA Sports, I mean, sure, it's cool, but people want co-op, people want infection, and above all, people want custom rooms. We're so limited in what we can do. We can't have tournaments, partners can't host events, you can't do scrims, you can't just do events in general like we did before, the GS events. We can't do any of that. There's no practice rooms, it's just custom rooms. It's a very casual game at the moment, and even though it's quite fun to play Arena, last month was a really good update, this is just disappointing, and the devs really need to step up with the coming updates. Because it's now going downhill a bit, and that's not what we want. We finally have the anti-cheat at a more acceptable level. I think the last month the devs has done a lot of hard work in making the anti-cheat a lot better, and there's still some stuff on the way. So anti-cheat wise, I'm actually quite confident, which is good, because that has been a concern at several occasions throughout the global lifespan. But yeah, at this point, we need more content, and specifically the content the community has been asking for.